I read a book that changed my life. Suddenly, I realized that be, beginning to see all these creatures that had been invisible to me uh, was taking me into a state of wonder that um, that lasted for months. It really lasted for months. One of the topics in the book is that uh, we are all, and they call it a curse, that we are all plant blind. And when I was reading, one of the difficulties is I didn't really know, almost, I had no image about the names when it quoted, it talked about a tree. I didn't know what tree it was, so I had to go to Wikipedia and see. And one of the things that most amazed me was that how could I have been living in the middle, even in my garden, the trees, and I only knew what a jacaranda was because of the flowers, and only when it was flowering, really. So it's a bit like if the book opened my eyes to another reality, uh, and I wonder how many things I'm not seeing. I mean, the book, it is really constructed on interconnectedness. I mean, um, it it talks about how everything interconnects underground, and the thing is, it connects also overground. Um, and even the way that the characters intertwine is that it's like branches uh, coming in together. Uh, yes, it's funny in the book. There is not really many, there are not really references to Buddhism. Only at one point he talks about Buddha's enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, which he calls ficus religiosa. Um, but constant, I mean, for me, all the book was like a Dharma talk. What we see in trees is what we use in trees. And we don't see the that there is even knowing in trees or awareness in trees and forests. I was impressed to see that the same thing that we work in our practice with our egocentric mind is um, at another level you can call working with the homo-centric mind. And if you see the state of the world and the climate change and how the future seems really terrible, it's the result of the samsaric homocentric mind. So for me, it is completely related to what we do with the practice. At one point, somebody asks an old man, which is the best moment to plant a tree? And he says, well, 20 years ago. And when is but the next best moment is now. And I always say that to myself, that I would have liked to begin practicing when I was much younger, but the best other time is now. I was very sad one day when I realized that I was not anymore in that state of wonder. Uh, but you cannot fake that. And if you try, like, I still am worried I will have an accident because now I drive and I am half on the driveway and half with my head. What is that tree? Now I know some names, I've learned a lot, and I've got a new passion But that is not the state of wonder. It's much more profound and subtle. It really is.